Becoming a Java full-stack developer can feel like trying to climb a huge mountain without a map, right? I mean, what do you learn first? Where should you focus your energy? Well, we're going to fix that right now. In this explainer, we are laying out the complete roadmap, from your very first line of code all the way to thinking like an architect. So, let's get into it.
First, we'll define what full stack even means. Then, we'll dive into your absolute starting point, core Java. After that, we'll chart the course for both the backend and frontend, get you set up with an essential toolkit, and finally, we'll look at what it takes to go from being a great developer to a true architect. Alright, so every great quest needs a destination. Before we get lost in the weeds with code and frameworks, let's get crystal clear on what our end goal, being full stack, actually is. You see this term literally everywhere. It's in every job description. But what does being full stack really mean when you're actually on the job building real things? And here it is. Here's the key idea. Being full stack is not about knowing everything. Nobody does. It's about being versatile. It's having the confidence to tackle any part of the process, from spinning up the backend API to building a user interface to connecting the database and then deploying the whole thing. It's about handling that entire journey. That's the goal. You know, you can't build a skyscraper on a weak foundation. It just doesn't work. And in the world of Java full stack, that rock-solid foundation is, without a doubt, core Java. This is where your journey really begins.
I know you're tempted to jump straight into the shiny new frameworks. Resist that urge. Mastering these 3 pillars is completely non-negotiable. Think of it like this. OOP teaches you how to design your own custom Lego bricks. The collections framework gives you all the different bins and boxes to organize those bricks, and multi-threading? Well, that's what lets your app walk and chew gum at the same time, keeping it fast and responsive. Get this stuff down cold, and everything that comes next will be so much easier.
Okay, with that solid Java foundation in place, you are ready to start the climb. For a Java developer, the backend is the heart and soul of your skill set. This is where you're going to build your core strength and really become an expert.
Now, what's so cool about this path is just how logical it is. It's not a random list of technologies. You start with Java, right? Then you use Spring Boot to make building apps way simpler. Hibernate helps you talk to your database without writing a ton of messy code. Then you expose that data with REST APIs. From there, you learn to break big apps into smaller microservices. And of course, you secure and test the whole shebang. See? Each step flows right into the next.
But with all this stuff to learn, how do you not get completely overwhelmed? This is where the 60-30-10 rule comes in. It's a game changer. Spend about 60% of your time and energy on the back end. That's your core. Dedicate 30% to the front end, so you're versatile. And that last 10%, that's for the tools and DevOps that glue everything together. It's not about learning everything equally, it's about learning strategically.
You know, as you start building bigger applications, you'll notice you're solving the same types of problems over and over again. That's where design patterns come in. They're basically proven recipes for common coding challenges. For example, the singleton pattern just makes sure you only have one of something, like a single connection to a database. The factory pattern is just a clean way to create objects. Don't worry about memorizing them all at once. Just knowing they exist is a huge step toward writing truly professional code.
Okay, so we've built this incredibly powerful engine on the back end, but an engine is useless if there's no way to drive the car, right? That's the front end. It's the absolutely crucial bridge that connects all your amazing back-end logic to the actual human being who's trying to use it.
And here we have the classic question. Angular or React? Really, the difference comes down to philosophy. Angular is like a complete toolkit. It gives you a very structured, opinionated way to build your app. It makes a lot of decisions for you. React is more like a single, incredibly powerful tool. It's just a library that gives you a ton of freedom, but you have to decide how to put all the pieces together. Honestly, the best advice is to just pick one and master it.
Now, at this point, this might be the single most important piece of advice in this entire explainer. Watching tutorials teaches you the what, but only building things can teach you the how. Real confidence isn't learned, it's forged. So build a simple to-do list app. Then build a dashboard that talks to that API you just made with Spring Boot. That's how you actually connect the dots. That's how theory turns into skill. So writing code is one thing. Actually shipping it reliably and professionally is something else entirely. To really operate as a modern developer, you need a toolkit, the essential gear for building, testing, and getting your work out into the real world.
Just think about the life of your code for a second. You write it, and you use Git to track every single change. When you're ready, you push it, and something like Jenkins automatically builds and tests it for you.
Then you package it all up in a Docker container, which is like a magic box that lets it run the same way everywhere. And finally, Kubernetes helps you manage all those boxes when you're running at a massive scale. See how they all work together? It's a beautiful system.
Here's a little mantra for you. Code that isn't tested is broken by default. It really is that simple. In the Java world, JUnit and Mockito are the gold standard for your backend. And on the front end, you'll be using something like Jest or Karma. Seriously, this isn't just a good habit, it's a core professional discipline.
An application running on your laptop is just a project. To make it a real product, it needs a home in the cloud. Now, you don't have to be a cloud wizard, but you absolutely have to know the basics. Your code needs to run on a server, that's EC2. Your app's files and images need to be stored somewhere, that's S3. And your data needs a reliable database, that's RDS. This is the last mile, taking your code and making it available to the world.
Okay, we've walked the path to becoming a really proficient full-stack developer. But what's next? What's at the top of the mountain? The final stage of this journey is learning to think beyond just code and seeing the entire system. This is the path to becoming an architect.
You see, senior developers and architects, they think on a totally different level. They're not just asking, how do I write this feature? They're asking, how will this system handle 1 million users at the same time? That gets you into system design topics like scalability and caching. They keep their fundamental problem-solving skills razor-sharp with data structures. And, this is a big one, they can explain incredibly complex technical ideas to anyone. That last one, that is a superpower.
So if you only take one single thing away from our time here, let it be this. The winning formula is depth times breadth. Go deep on the back end, make that your superpower. Then go broad across the front end and all the tools. That combination of deep, specialized expertise and wide, flexible versatility, that's what makes you absolutely invaluable in this field. So, the roadmap is complete. The path is clear, and all the steps are laid out right in front of you. The only question left is the one you see on your screen. Where will you begin?